I never thought a simple act of kindness would upend my entire world. It was a rainy Friday night in Seattle when my best friend, Jason, showed up at my door, soaked to the bone and reeking of cheap whiskey. "Dude, Sarah kicked me out," he slurred, his blue eyes pleading under the porch light, and before I could process it, I was pulling him inside, handing him a towel and offering my couch for the night, never imagining that by morning, he'd be wrapped around me like I was his lifeline. Jason and I had been inseparable since freshman year at the University of Washington. He was the straight-as-an-arrow jock, captain of the soccer team, always dating some cheerleader type, while I was the quiet art major, openly gay since high school, navigating the world with a sketchbook in hand and a heart full of unrequited crushes. Our friendship was easy, built on late-night video games, shared pizzas, and him defending me from the occasional homophobic jerk in our dorm. But that night, as he crashed on my couch, something shifted. I went to bed in my room, door cracked open just in case he needed anything, and woke up to the warmth of his arm draped over my waist, his breath steady against my neck. My heart raced, not from fear, but from a forbidden hope I'd buried years ago. I froze, staring at the ceiling, trying to make sense of it. Jason was straight. He'd said it a million times, laughed off any jokes about us being more than friends. Was this just drunken affection, the kind straight guys sometimes showed their buddies? Or was there something deeper, something he'd been hiding? I slipped out carefully, not wanting to wake him, and busied myself in the kitchen making coffee. When he stirred, groaning about his headache, he didn't mention the cuddle. "Thanks for letting me crash, man," he said, rubbing his eyes. "You're a lifesaver." I nodded, forcing a smile, but inside, questions swirled like the steam from my mug. How do you confront your best friend about waking up in his arms without risking everything? As the day wore on, Jason hung around my apartment, nursing his hangover with greasy takeout and bad movies. We didn't talk about Sarah, his on-again, off-again girlfriend who'd finally had enough of his commitment issues. Instead, we fell into our usual rhythm, bantering about work and life. He was a marketing assistant at a tech startup, always chasing the next promotion, while I freelanced as a graphic designer, dreaming of my own studio. But every laugh, every shared glance, felt charged now. That evening, as we sat on the couch, the same one where it happened, he opened up. "I don't know what I'm doing with my life, Ethan," he confessed, staring at the TV but not really watching. "Sarah said I'm afraid of real intimacy. Maybe she's right." I wanted to ask about the morning, but the words stuck in my throat. Instead, I said, "You're not afraid, you're just picky." He chuckled, but his eyes lingered on mine a second too long. The air thickened, and I changed the subject to our upcoming road trip to Portland for a music festival, something we'd planned months ago as bros only. Little did I know, that trip would crack open the facade we'd both been maintaining. Days turned into a week, and Jason didn't go home. He crashed on my couch every night, claiming his place was a mess from the breakup. I didn't mind. Having him around felt right, like the missing piece in my solitary life. But the mornings, they became a pattern. I'd wake to find him migrated to my bed, holding me close, only to act like nothing happened come daylight. The third time, I couldn't ignore it. "Jason, what the hell?" I whispered one dawn, his arm heavy across my chest. He blinked awake, confusion etching his face, then pulled away like I'd burned him. "Shit, sorry, man. Must have sleepwalked or something." But his cheeks flushed, and he bolted to the bathroom. That incident hung over us like a storm cloud. At work, I sketched distractedly, my mind replaying the feel of his embrace. Was he questioning his sexuality? Or was I reading too much into platonic affection? Society loved to blur those lines in movies, but in real life it was messy. My gay friends warned me, "Straight guys experiment, Ethan, but they always go back." I didn't want to be an experiment. I wanted something real. Yet the pull was undeniable. The conflict escalated when Jason's family got involved. His conservative parents from a small town in Idaho called, demanding he reconcile with Sarah. "She's good for you, son," his dad boomed over speakerphone one evening. "Don't throw away a future for whatever this is." Jason glanced at me, guilt flashing in his eyes. It's nothing, Dad. Just crashing with a friend. The word friend stung, but I understood. Coming out, if that's what this was, meant risking family, friends, his whole identity. By the end of the week, tension simmered. We argued over stupid things. Dishes, TV choices, but underneath was the unspoken truth. One night, after a few beers, Jason cornered me in the kitchen. Ethan, about the mornings. I don't know why I do it, but it feels right. My breath caught. What are you saying? He stepped closer, his hand brushing mine. I think I might not be as straight as I thought. The admission hung there, vulnerable and raw. But before I could respond, his phone buzzed. Sarah, wanting to talk. He hesitated, then answered, leaving me alone with my racing heart. The call with Sarah lasted an hour, and when Jason emerged from my bedroom, his face was a mask of conflict. She wants to try again, he said, slumping onto the couch. I nodded, pretending nonchalance while my insides twisted. That's great, man, if that's what you want. But he didn't look convinced. Is it? I mean, with her, it's easy, expected. With you. He trailed off, staring at his hands. The air crackled with possibility, but fear held us back. Society's expectations loomed large. Straight men married women, had kids, fit the mold. Anything else was complicated. Fodder for judgment. We didn't touch the subject again that night, opting for awkward silence and an early bedtime. But morning came, and so did he, sliding into my bed, pulling me close. This time I didn't move away. Jason, I murmured, we need to talk about this. He sighed against my shoulder. I know. I'm scared, Ethan. What if this ruins us? His vulnerability cracked something in me. What if it makes us better? For a moment, we lay there, hearts sinking, the world outside forgotten. The road trip to Portland couldn't have come at a worse time, or maybe the best. We packed my old Subaru with snacks and playlists, hitting the I-5 South under a clear sky. The drive was 3 hours of forced normalcy, singing along to indie rock, debating best burgers. But as Mount Hood loomed in the distance, Jason's hand found mine on the gearshift. I've been thinking, he said softly, about us. My pulse quickened. And, he squeezed, I want to explore this, but slowly. No labels yet. Portland welcomed us with its quirky vibe, food trucks, street art, a haven for the unconventional. We checked into a cheap Airbnb, a loft with one king bed that neither of us commented on. The music festival was electric. Bands thumping bass lines, crowds swaying under string lights. Amid the chaos, Jason pulled me into a dance, our bodies close, laughter bubbling up. For the first time, it felt natural, not hidden. But reality intruded when we ran into mutual friends from college. Jason and Ethan, still attached at the hip, one teased. Jason stiffened, dropping my hand. Yeah, best buds, he replied, and the moment shattered. That night, back at the loft, the hurt spilled out. Why'd you pull away? I demanded, pacing. Are you ashamed? He ran a hand through his hair. It's not that simple, Ethan. My friends, my job, they expect the straight guy. Coming out means losing parts of my life. I understood the fear. I'd lived it. But it stung. So what? I'm your secret. He reached for me. No, I just need time. We made up with a tentative hug, but doubt seeded. The festival's second day brought more tension. We wandered the city, exploring Powell's books, where I lost myself in graphic novels while Jason browsed self-help. Over coffee, he opened up about his upbringing. Strict church Sundays, a father who equated manhood with heterosexuality. I never questioned it until you, he admitted. You make me feel seen. My heart swelled, but societal pressures weighed heavy. Back home, whispers of conversion therapy from his family haunted him. On the drive back to Seattle, rain pelted the windshield, mirroring our mood. Jason's phone buzzed incessantly. Sarah, friends, parents. Everyone wants me to be who I was, he muttered. I gripped the wheel. But who do you want to be? Silence stretched. Then, with you. We pulled over at a rest stop, and under the fluorescent lights, he kissed me. Soft, questioning, but real. It was our first, born of choice, not sleep. Seattle greeted us with routine, but nothing felt the same. Jason moved back to his apartment, but we saw each other daily. Stolen moments. Dinners, walks in Pike Place Market, hands brushing in public but never holding. The secrecy chafed. One evening at a bar with friends, a guy hit on me. Jason watched, jaw clenched, then dragged me outside. "I can't do this," he said. "Seeing you with someone else." Jealousy flared, but so did anger. "Then commit, Jason, or let me go." The argument escalated at my place. "I'm trying," he yelled. "But my parents are coming next week. If they find out." Tears glistened. They'd disown me. The societal clash hit hard. Family loyalty versus personal truth. I held him as he broke down, whispering, "We'll figure it out." But deep down, I wondered if love could conquer such divides. Jason's parents arrived like a Midwest tornado, all hearty handshakes and probing questions. Dinner at a steakhouse was a minefield. "So, Jason, any news on Sarah?" his mom asked, eyes hopeful. He fidgeted. "We're taking a break." His dad grunted. "Breaks are for quitters. You need a good woman to settle you down." I sat there, the roommate friend, forcing smiles while inside, resentment brewed. How could they dismiss his happiness so casually? After, back at my apartment, where Jason insisted on staying to help with chores, he vented. "They don't get it, Ethan. To them, being gay is a sin." The word gay hung heavy. It was the first time he'd labeled himself. "Are you?" I asked gently. He nodded, pulling me close. "With you, yes." But the visit amplified conflicts. His parents dragged him to church, where the sermon railed against modern perversions. Jason returned pale, conflicted. "What if they're right?" he whispered that night as we lay together. Not intimately, but emotionally bare. I shared my own story. Coming out at 18, losing some friends, but gaining authenticity. "It's hard, but worth it," I said. He listened, but fear lingered. Society's grip was tight, workplace whispers, family expectations, even media portrayals that sensationalized gay lives. We navigated it through small acts. A movie night where he held my hand under a blanket, a park walk where he didn't flinch from stares. But controversy brewed when Jason's sister, Mia, visited unexpectedly. She caught us in a kiss, her eyes widening. "Oh my God, Jason!" Panic ensued. "Please don't tell Mom and Dad," he begged. Mia, more progressive, hugged him. "I won't, but you need to be honest." Her support was a balm, but it highlighted the family rift. That night, Jason proposed we cool it until his parents left. Hurt, I agreed, but resentment simmered. The high point, or low, depending, came at a company party for Jason. He invited me as a +1, but introduced me as my buddy Ethan. When a coworker joked about setting me up with her gay brother, Jason laughed it off, but his eyes betrayed jealousy. Later, in the car, I exploded. "Am I just your hidden shame?" He pulled over. "No, I'm protecting us." But from what? Society's judgment? His own doubts? We reconciled with tears and promises, but the pattern persisted. Closeness in private, distance in public. It fueled arguments about commitment. "I love you," he said one dawn, holding me after another sleepwalking episode that was anything but. The words electrified me. "I love you too." But love alone wasn't enough. Choices loomed. A turning point hit when Jason's dad confronted him about spending too much time with that Ethan kid. Overheard on the phone. "Is he one of those homosexuals influencing you?" Jason defended me weakly, and it broke something. "You didn't stand up for us?" I accused later. He crumpled. "I'm sorry. I will." But actions spoke louder. As his parents departed, relief mixed with dread. Jason decided to come out to them via call, safer distance. I held his hand as he dialed. "Mom, Dad, I'm gay. And I'm with Ethan." Silence, then explosion. Accusations of confusion, offers of therapy. "This is a phase," his dad bellowed. "Get help." The call ended in tears. Jason shattered. "They hate me." I comforted him, but the societal wound ran deep. In the aftermath, we grew closer, but external pressures mounted. Friends drifted, some supportive, others judgmental. At work, Jason faced subtle discrimination. Missed promotions, whispers. "Is this worth it?" he asked one night, doubt creeping. I wanted to say yes, but uncertainty gnawed. Months passed, and our relationship evolved amid the chaos. We moved in together officially, turning my apartment into our home, his stuff mingling with mine, a symbol of commitment. But society didn't let up. At a pride event in Seattle, we held hands publicly for the first time. Stares followed, a mix of support and disdain. One heckler shouted slurs, reminding us of the world's ugliness. Jason tensed but didn't let go. "I'm done hiding," he said later, kissing me under rainbow flags. Yet family ties strained. His parents cut contact, save for occasional guilt-tripping emails. Mia became our ally, visiting often, sharing stories of her own rebellions. "They'll come around," she assured. But doubt lingered. Jason attended therapy, unpacking internalized homophobia, while I supported from the sidelines, dealing with my own fears of abandonment. Conflicts arose from unexpected quarters. Sarah reappeared, just to check in. Over coffee, insisted by Jason for closure, she eyed me warily. "So this is real?" she asked. He nodded. "It is." But her parting words sowed seeds. "Be careful, Jason. Society isn't kind to this." The encounter rattled him, sparking an argument. "What if she's right? What if I regret this?" I countered. "Regret loving me?" Hurt flashed, but we mended with honest talks. Work added fuel. Jason's boss, a conservative type, made offhand comments about family values. When Jason came out at the office, support was mixed. High fives from some, cold shoulders from others. A project he led was reassigned, coincidentally. "It's discrimination," I fumed. He shrugged. "Prove it." The injustice boiled, highlighting broader societal issues. Unequal protections, lingering biases. Our love deepened through trials. Lazy Sundays in bed, sharing dreams, me opening a gallery, him starting his own firm. Intimacy was emotional, built on trust, not rushed. But a bombshell dropped. Jason's parents invited him home for Thanksgiving. To talk. Hope flickered. "Come with me?" he asked. I agreed, nervous but resolute. The trip to Idaho was tense, miles of silence broken by playlists. Arriving at the ranch-style house, his mom's hug was stiff, Dad's handshake curt. Dinner was awkward, small talk veering into politics. When the topic turned to us, his dad cleared his throat. "We don't approve, son. But your family." It wasn't acceptance, but a crack in the wall. Jason pushed. "Ethan is my family too." Tensions rose, voices sharp. "Choose. Us or this lifestyle," his dad demanded. Jason stood firm. "It's not a choice. It's who I am." We left early, the drive back heavy. "I lost them," he sobbed. I pulled over, holding him. "You gained yourself." But the pain was real, a societal scar. Back in Seattle, we rebuilt. Friends rallied, forming a chosen family. Jason advocated at work, joining LGBTQ groups. But doubts persisted. One night, after a fight over trivialities masking deeper fears, he confessed, "Sometimes I wonder if I'd be happier straight." The words gutted me. "Then go," I said, voice breaking. He didn't, choosing us instead. High drama peaked when an old college buddy outed Jason on social media. Maliciously. Comments flooded. Support mixed with hate. Jason's job hung in limbo, family silent. We weathered it together, emerging stronger. "This is our story," he said, holding me. "Messy, but ours." As winter blanketed Seattle, our bond solidified. We celebrated small victories. Jason's promotion, earned through grit. Assigned biases could be overcome. Family thawed slightly. His mom called, tentative but present. I miss you, she said. No mention of me but progress. Yet, society threw curveballs. At a neighborhood block party, a neighbor's offhand remark, "You two make a cute couple, but keep it discreet for the kids," ignited debate. Jason challenged, "Love isn't indecent." It sparked community whispers, some allyship, others backlash. We became unwitting activists, our story a microcosm of larger struggles. Emotionally, we navigated highs and lows. Jason's therapy unearthed traumas. Bullying in school for soft traits, suppressed attractions. "You helped me see," he told me one evening, as we watched the ferries on Puget Sound. "But the world resists." I nodded, sharing my own scars, rejection, isolation. Together, we healed, choosing each other daily. The pivotal moment came during Pride Month. Jason proposed we march together. No more hiding. The parade was vibrant. Cheers, colors, community. Holding his hand amid the crowd, I felt hope. But counter-protesters loomed, signs blaring hate. One shouted at Jason, "Traitor to your kind." He faltered, but squeezed my hand. "My kind is love." Post-parade, exhaustion hit. "Was it worth it?" he asked, collapsing on our couch, the same one where it began. I smiled. Every bit. Our journey, fraught with choices between conformity and authenticity, family and self, defined us. As summer approached, Jason reconnected with Sarah as friends. "I'm happy for you," she said genuinely. Closed a chapter allowing full commitment. But life's not tidy. His parents visited, awkward but attempting. Dinner involved stilted talks, a breakthrough when his dad admitted, "I don't understand, but I love you." Tears flowed. Bridges mended slowly. Our story, dramatic and disputed, challenged norms. Friends debated. Was Jason truly gay or fluid? Did society force his hand? We ignored labels, focusing on us. In the end, waking in his arms became routine, not accidental but chosen. Love triumphed, but at cost. Was Jason's journey a genuine awakening? Or did societal pressures shape his choices more than his heart?